Wait, what now?
So please, remember Tom's discipline. I am going to interrupt you if I have to, if you're just rambling. Next thing. Jennings, I will work you in as soon as possible. Please fill out your sheet and roll 20. You literally have a character sheet that just says fill me out.
Arguably, it's screaming out to you to fill it out.
Make sure you press the edit button to change the name of the sheet and apply an avatar that you will use. Also, I just randomly checked into the other Roll20 games to actually close them so that the Roll20 would know they're closed. Apparently we had 20 people who joined the only war game.
Out of 6 that are constantly there.
Did I ruthlessly murder 13 people?
No, they made characters and never showed up.
Yeah.
Did I ruthlessly murder 13 people?
When
people didn't show up, I just murder-rated their character in the most horrific way possible.
Well, you murdered me ruthlessly 3 times.
But
no, you murdered yourself.
But Fiaura, is it?
The only question remains is, who's being Void Master?
Who will be the taxi driver?
Who will steer a flying potato hippo?
Woodmasters don't steer the ship.
They're the only ones with pilot.
Yeah, they do.
They're the only ones who start with pilot, yes, technically.
No, they're the ones who do it in real space.
Yeah.
Not Void Master. It's bus driver. This ship is as big as a galactic bus. And handles like one.
Yeah, well, that and they also get like drive ground vehicles and fly flyers. So
basically, the Void Master is Morgan Freeman from Driving Miss Daisy.
I was about to say, do we get our own app so you can hail us whenever you need a ride?
Okay. The one problem I have here with your character sheet, Jennings, is that you didn't mark any of your attribute advanced boxes in, so I have no idea if your intelligence, your perception, your fellowship, or your ballistic skill are legitimate, or if you actually just spit.
I gave you the link to Roll20. I just changed it, and that, like, it's the 8 roll.
No, you didn't mark your XP spends. So I don't know what your actual rolls are.
Okay, I did literacy and voidfarer, and that was it.
So how do you have a 55 intelligence?
Because of path origins. Origins path, yeah.
Facepalm.
What? Does anyone understand what path origins does?
I do. However, a 55 intelligence would mean you rolled a 20.
I did not. If you take the literal... Okay, let me... Alright, I have to look over this whole entire deal and show you guys the deal. Just one moment.
Wait, I moved it.
If I can. One moment.
No, I know how this works. I'm telling you that if you have a 55 intelligence, you roll a 20.
I did not roll a 20. I used the origins +3, +3, +3 intelligence.
That doesn't make any sense.
Well,
and let me explain.
Each origin part of it gives a stat.
Let me explain to you why that doesn't make any sense. You're from a Forge world, plus 5 int. Okay? That means at most, maximum you have a 50. You then go... So now you have at most a 55. But you haven't marked any corruption or insanity, which you should have. Now you're up to a 56.
Just a moment, please.
Stop saying just a moment. I'm literally tracing it.
I'm sorry. It's just I did roll insanity 3. I did it as a roll.
The sheet you have doesn't. This is why I don't like this stuff.
Jennings, don't argue with the game master. It'll piss her off and make us suffer.
Also,
that was funny.
I believe. So, I believe in Rogue Trader it does also say GM is always right.
I mean, there is the
Warhammer RPGs. It says that it's rule 0.
I mean, there is the whole other argument that the chat might thank you for pissing off the GM, so she does horrible things to us.
Well, yeah, given that we've got at least one character near death's door. Or is that they're kind of swinging on the door, can't decide whether to go through or not?
Alright, back.
I see what you did. That's easy to determine. What I don't see is how you got that to apply to intelligence. Because no matter what order I put the rolls in on the Roll20 game you invited me to, there's no way you put a 19 in it. Because you don't get to just randomly pick where stats go.
I understand that, and I did not do any of that.
Okay.
I did +3 with... I, like,
you
literally...
rolled... Okay, let me rephrase this. You rolled 9 times.
9 2d10s for each stat, top to bottom.
Yes, that's nice. That's not how that works.
9 stats.
Can I just simply say that I could have done it with your supervision?
And
that's why I didn't even roll for the very beginning. I just gave you the baseline stat.
And I told you...
That was literally 40.
Okay, I told you the same thing I've told everyone else. It's you roll each stat once. You don't get to pick where it goes or where the roll goes. And you get
I did not
one
pick
reroll.
where it rolled. I rolled from top to bottom.
Let me finish.
With the rolls.
Let me finish. You don't get to roll multiple stat blocks.
Fair enough. Alright, I didn't know about that.
You rolled 9 stat blocks.
I rolled 8. 8 of 2 d10s for each stat.
And you should have rolled
1 being the rogue trader, 2 being the arch militant, 3 being the astropath, and gosh dang the rest of it, and the last one was the void master.
And you should have rolled 1. And then designated that is for X character. Roll the second one. Designated that is for X character. Instead, you have 8 stat blocks that don't have, well, 9 actually, because what I'm looking at on screen is 9 stat blocks that don't have, that aren't marked as to what they're for. Unless you're rolling 9 separate characters.
My bad. Then I'll just have to gosh dang re-roll the whole thing then.
Okay, who's put the ship inside the dungeon?
I don't know. Somebody's messing around. Apparently bored.
Wait, what shit? Where?
And it says that was Ying.
I have done nothing, and I am the most innocent. Listen to my meow.
I've always had
mean-
one major issue with all of the Black Library systems. There's no alternative way to build stats other than rolling dice.
Until Dark Heresy's 2nd edition.
And I don't like Dark Heresy 2nd Edition!
Because it's bad.
No, I'm pretty sure.
That's the one good thing about the game. You have an ability to point by. The bad thing about the game, it's a bad game!
It's shit. Well, I think there's the 100 points you get for
Yeah,
Rogue Trader, where you have 100 points. All your stats start at 20, and you just put the points in.
and it
The
cannot
max you
go
can
higher
put into
than,
anything is 20 points.
and nothing can go higher than 40. Yeah, it's called the allocation point size in all the books almost.
Well,
Anyway.
you know what you can do?
So,
As GM, you can hand wave it and say, yeah, we're going to use that system.
Alright,
for-
I'm going to my computer soon enough. It will take a while, because gosh dang it, it's been a while.
you say that, but it doesn't work.
I will be there. I will show you the deals of what I rolled, show you the
I'd
character
have to actually
sheet,
figure it out.
and of course what the sheet that literally allows me to do, and then we'll discuss further and more about it. But in the meantime,
Probably have to discuss
I'll
that
be
another
out,
time.
and I will be back to you. Alright?
How dare you call me a potato? I will murder you through an error. Accident. The ship seems rather upset and threatening us today.
I am but innocent. I'm a small kitten.
We have anger the machines. Quickly, someone throw incense at it.
Quick, burn the tech priest.
I'll be back.
Quickly, we must sacrifice tech priests to the engine.
Okay, now
Throws them into the furnace.
how to.
They are but the most holy of fuels.
There we go. Alright, so, last we left off, Hitomi grabbed a goblet. Hitomi's character grabbed a goblet and disappeared.
Mhm.
Hitomi,
that
you're
something?
sitting in a very, very dark room that's incredibly damp. So, I'm going to ask Hitomi for an action. Then I'm going to ask the rest of the party what they're doing. And then we're going to go back to the rest of the party.
Well, seeing as I'm in a dark room that I have absolutely no vision sources for, I will pull out my plasma pistol and I'll just kind of like thrum the safety on so all those glowing bits on its barrel start lighting up and I have some kind of light, even if it's just basically candlelight.
Are you sure you wish to do this?
Yeah.
Okay. You're standing knee deep in blood, guts, and gore of human beings.
Oh, that sounds like a fear test to me.
More insanity. Definitely insanity. Definitely insanity.
What do you want me to roll for it, if anything?
It's still willpower.
Alright.
So, what you're standing in can only be described as literally a sea of, well, inside splooge.
Gore.
Oh, so it took me to northern Canada.
And
Got
the
it.
survey says
And roll 20 says you're fucked.
Okay.
Only a slight fucking though.
Take 2 insanity points.
See,
And
that's just like
for all tests until you get out of this room, you're at -10 because you're unnerved. I mean, you've seen dead bodies before, just not, you know, dead bodies ground up and turned into a pink slurry.
swimming pool deep.
McDonald's food.
There's a clear lever next to what appears to be a door that has a staircase elevated slightly out of the muck. And the room is barely, I want to say, it's only just barely illuminated for you, enough that you have to strain to get to look to the walls. So, rest of the party. Amir vanished when Amir grabbed the cup. What are you guys doing? And when I say vanished, it's that unnerving moment. It's not like with a bright flash or any like telltale sign. It's just Amir grabbed object, and suddenly in the next frame of your eyes registering what was going on was no longer present.
Sybil is gonna poke. No, the cup went with him.
The cup went with him, did it?
But since they don't know that, Sybil's going to take a stick and poke where Amir had been just to see if he's not invisible.
The stick touches air.
The cat
Oh, shit,
face
yeah,
palms
lost
and slaps the psyker in the face.
Sybil will block with stick.
Are you seriously gonna do that?
I just want to be slapped.
Then you get slapped in the back of the head. I told you to hold him down. Why didn't you do that?
I was going to disappear.
I knew something was gonna go wrong in this place. It's all your fault.
Wow.
Alexander proceeds to groan.
I'm sorry, I wasn't the motherfuckers who... When we saw giant warp ghost, I said, let's probably not go in here, but no! Hey, my fucking fault we walked into something literally connected to hell.
The cutthroat doesn't care and goes to try and heal the Alexander, if only a little bit.
Children, please, let's listen for a moment and see if we can hear him screaming, yelling, or anything else.
Fee, can I make my Medkay roll to see if I can heal Alexander a little bit?
That would be perception.
No, Kuru's wanting to heal the rather beat up Master at Arms.
Oh. Has the Master of Arms received a new wound since he was last healed?
I don't think so.
Yeah,
No.
Health-wise, currently Alexander is at -2 wounds and about 5 fatigue.
You're unconscious, right?
Yes.
Okay, you can make a Medicaid roll to bring him to 0 and therefore make him awake.
I'm using a Medkay pack. Do I get any modifiers?
10, bonus. Cool! You bring him to +4. As if by magic, stitching, sewing, and going absolutely bonkers mad on his body until he finally leans up and looks okay.
She gives a friendly slap on his back. See? All patched up.
Yeah, I'm probably awake with... Oh god, the orcs... Oh, thank you. Thank you a lot. Dusting himself off and standing up.
Anybody else doing anything while this is going on?
So yeah, I'm gonna follow the captain's request and see if I can hear anything that sounds like our missing companion.
Sybil don't hear shit.
I hear somebody fart, but that's about it.
Wow.
The cat girl is gonna look embarrassed for a moment.
All I hear is the deafening silence.
Sybil hears the equivalent of rushing water you would hear from a concussion.
Okay.
And even the ship. Why is the ship rolling perception?
That's
Who was
point.
doing this?
Well, now we know who was fucking with the ship. Yeah. You guys don't hear anything. As a matter of fact, some of you failed. Actually, 2 or 3 of you failed so badly. You hear something from this direction that could be mistaken as footsteps.
Which directions? I need to zoom out more.
Sorry, Fee, can you just ping the map again?
I have pinged it 5 times.
Oh, how far do we have to zoom out? Because I ain't seen anything.
Look to your left.
Oh, I see now.
How far are you guys zoomed in? Like 10 feet away from your character?
I was like nearly maxed out zoom and I couldn't see where you were pinging.
Yeah. Maybe it's something wrong with Roll20 because I don't see it either.
Oh, wait, I know what's
Maybe.
wrong.
Well, you're not in ping mode.
No.
Ah, yep, okay.
Were you like pinging white or something?
No,
It's like white.
I was in GM token mode.
Oh.
Follow the red arrow.
We already came from that way, so...
You hear footsteps in that direction.
I'd say we don't go that way because we just came from there.
Not, Alexander was then saying, like, not to mention that place is somewhat a death trap. I think I remember everything's fuzzy.
Bertram will walk to the end of the walk to the junction and peer around, see if anything's coming from that way.
Okay.
Anything?
Not that you see. The sound's gone too.
It's all clear back here.
I have a feeling these things will be like the fucking weeping angels. Big Bird, shut the hell up.
Hi, Big Bird. I miss you.
Big board right now going,
Tell you
I
like,
still
"Oh,
haven't
my
found
God."
an exit. I still haven't found an exit.
No, he's trying to say I found an exit, but you're telling me to shut up now.
Yeah.
Is that what Big Bird is saying, Fiaura? But I found a way in.
Shut up. Okay, fine. I'll not tell you then. Jaime is going to go up to around the corner and see a doorway. And screw it, he's just going to shove the door open if it's not barred shut.
Which door?
I think he means this one.
Yes.
Door opens. You are greeted to an empty room. Stone walls made of what appears to be solid stone that is not has no blemishes, no imperfections, is literally just solid laid gray stone. And there is no nothing in here.
The cat girl's gonna look into the room and say, well, this place has nothing. Moving on.
Make a will check, Kuramachi.
Will shot?
Will. Cool. You see nothing.
So do we see the door at the far side of the room?
Yes. It is a standard wooden door with a heavy iron knocker.
Seneschal, please stay back with Alexander and make sure he doesn't get in another fight.
No, Sybil will do it. Oh.
Oh, you'll keep him out of trouble?
Well, that and a body shield, but...
Fine.
In that case, I'd like to open the door.
Okay, I'll stand there ready with my power sword ready.
I'm gonna stay back and get ready to heal them if they get injured.
Sybil's gonna move at least towards the door with dragging the body shield along.
The body shield.
Alexander.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you
So
grab the handle and yank?
yank, push, whatever it looks like I need to do to open the door.
You grab the old iron handle that looks like it's straight out of the 16th century Middle Ages, and you yank the door open. Inside is a bed with a skeleton chained to it.
Nice. I guess I step into the room then.
There is a bucket.
Is it the bucket empty or containing something?
You'd rather not look in the bucket.
Oh, one of those buckets. Okay. I look at the skeleton. Is there any clothing or remains of clothing on it, or rings, or anything like that?
I don't know how exactly to describe this other than what it says on that I wrote down apparently.
Where?
A literal latex skin suit.
Oh, God.
Oh dear! I thought Slanesh
Can
was still a puppy at this stage.
Can the cat girl make a comment about this?
Does the skeleton look human?
Yes.
Oh wow! Someone had fun. Apart from the skeleton on the bed and the bucket, is there anything else in the room?
There's a trunk.
Okay. Oh dear, I think I know what's going to be in there, but hey ho. Okay, I take a look at the trunk. Do I notice anything peculiar about it?
It's locked. You can roll perception to see if you notice anything else peculiar about it.
Like the poison trap?
Nah. In that case, I'm going to see if the lock is actually locked, or whether it wasn't locked last time it was opened. So try
It's
and
locked.
open it. It's locked.
Well, you can shoot it with a shotgun that is known for busting most locks.
I've got something better than that. I've got a bolter.
I think a flamethrower is very good for the job.
The only
Okay.
thing is, if there's valuables in it, you could destroy them.
Yeah. I look under the bed. Is there any sign of a key or anything under the bed?
Nope.
You even missed the opportunity to put some gore or something under there. I'm disappointed in you, Fee.
I put a skeleton in a latex bodysuit next to a shit bucket. What more do you want? Back to Hitomi. Wow. What are you doing in the room? What are you doing in the room full of pink gore slurry?
Well, priorities. He said that there's a set of stairs that leads up to the door with the levers, so he is going to try to get some elevation on the stairs and get out of the slurry, and then scope out the lever and the door and see what's happening.
Okay, you examine the lever. It appears to have some sort of mechanism behind it. You can't tell what the mechanism does. And make a perception check. And then if you have it, make an architect check.
Architect? No, I just have archaeology.
Okay, you failed perception. I assume you don't have architecture.
Nope.
Make an archaeologist roll. Awesome. You examine the room very carefully, and after a moment you realize that pink slurry like this could only be made from bone and bodily insides being crushed up together like a blender. At which point in time you notice that the walls in the room look like they move against each other.
Well, it seems to suggest that some sort of disposal unit, possibly keeping the remains for God knows what, corpse-starch rations maybe. Don't touch lever.
So what do you do?
Can I see any sort of mechanism to open the door with? Other than large, obvious, probably gonna crush me lever.
Make another perception check. Nope.
Can I put my ear up against the door and see if I can hear anything through it?
You hear water dripping.
Huh. Can I see which way the door opens? Like, does it slide into the wall or slide up, or does it have hinges I can see, or...
You can see that there is a place on the side of the door where hinges belong.
But there are no hinges. But how heavy is the door? Or how heavy would I think the door is?
It's solid stone. So in your estimation, pretty goddamn heavy. While you figure out what you really want to do, what are you guys doing in the other room?
Before we do anything drastic to the locker, I'd like to take a closer look at the body.
I'm going to say, Captain, perhaps we should use the stick.
Stick. I ain't touching
The one
that.
you're holding.
Yeah, it's mine. I ain't touching that disgusting body with it.
Poke it.
I'm just gonna point my finger towards the body's general direction.
Okay.
Well,
You pointed a body. Congrats.
Okay, so without touching it, I'd like to just look at the body. And so, is it literally just a skeleton in the skin suit?
Yes. Decayed away through hundreds of years via a slight incision in the center of the suit.
One really has to wonder what the vile and debased heathens of this temple practiced, and why he's dead.
So there's no sign of anything like the key to the box attached to the body then? How big is the box?
You can pick it up with one hand.
Suggest we pick it up and carry it off and figure it out later?
Yeah, or you could take it and give it a good toss into the corner and see if that'll bust it open.
We could, but there might be something fragile in there.
It also could be full of explosives, and as soon as we toss it, it could blow up the whole room.
That too.
Fine, you can carry it.
Then why don't you take the box?
I pick up the box and secure it with my things.
Go to the next door across.
Okay.
Does anything happen with me picking the box up?
Nope. I like how I have made you guys so suspicious that a box that has no discernible feature other than it's a locked box the size of your forearm has made you so paranoid that you're wondering if something horrific happens from just picking it up.
We know you.
A box can't just be a box, can it?
I mean, we have a box pony in another reality, so what if there's a pony inside of there? I have to be sure because then I have to burn it.
And who knows? It could be a mimic.
At least it's not a table.
If it was a mimic, I imagine me picking it up would have cued it to try and bite my arm off.
Oh no, you have to open a mimic first. And then those can grab you.
Alexander was saying, I remember from a book that pilot, maybe if we can unlock it through applying a boot heel to the lock and just kicking the box and we'll open.
I'm carrying the box until we find a key, or we get back to the ship.
Then you take a sawzall to it.
Or chainsword.
Okay, so what are you guys doing now?
Open up the next door.
It's a hallway, and if you look to your right, that's where you met Tim.
Move down to this hallway going away until I step on a trap or I get to that doorway.
You get to the doorway in one freaking piece. There are two levers on the on this side of the door. One on the left and one on the right. The door has no other discernible way that you can determine is connected or opening it.
Can I just say, Fee? You were commenting about us being unsure of the safety of a box. Tom just walked up a corridor with the statement of, I'm going to keep walking unless there's a trap stopping me.
Mm-hmm.
Before he gets to the doorway.
I guess I motion to the captain and suggest that we pull the levers at the same time.
I was thinking the same thing.
Alexander will pipe up. Before we start pulling levers, perhaps we should knock on the door or listen in and see.
It is a heavy stone door. Knocking on it would actually just hurt your hand.
No, it wouldn't.
The last pony that did that ended up breaking a leg.
But this reminds me more of a prison cell from back home. I'm not sure it's a good idea to open it.
Is there any kind of viewport through the door?
Hmm?
Any kind of viewports through
Nope.
the door?
Just a giant in recess that's about door size and door shape in the stone wall. With a lever on the left and a lever on the right. The levers look identical.
On the count of 3, Captain?
The cat girl is gonna step a little bit back.
Before we, Captain, before we open the door, at least perhaps we should take defensive positions in case something tries to come out of this, well, cell, not a closet.
Whatever it is, it could be anything.
The storeroom. But yeah, I guess I grab my Inferno pistol and train it on the open doorway.
Okay.
As I pull down the lever.
I have my power sword in my hand.
Which lever are you pulling?
We're pulling both of them at the same time.
I'll pull the left, Tom will pull right, seeing as that's our approximate positions on the map.
Hitomi!
Yep.
The walls begin to move inward. As there's a heavy click from the other side of the door.
Whatever you do, do not shoot a las weapon in there. And the question is,
Star Wars.
You're killing them, Archie! You're killing them!
What do you do?
Fiaura, I sent you the Excel file.
Well, the original plan to do this carefully and smartly has suddenly been thrown down the priority list for doing this quick and dirty. I flicked the switch on my plasma pistol, I put it on the maximal setting, and I'm taking a point-blank shot at the door.
Okay. You hit the door. Roll damage. You just leave a scorch mark.
Is that including the fact that it normally has the pen 6, or?
Just an inconvenient scorch mark.
Alright, it's a rather deep gouge in the door.
Well, as my pistol is recharging, I expend the flask and I start slamming in another one, and it's going to take me about, well, 3 rounds to do it.
You've got a lever in there, haven't you?
You have a fucking. You might have.
I don't know what that's going to do, so that's going to be last resort. I don't know how fast the walls are closing in either.
The walls slam forward a full foot. You now have a foot less headroom, a foot less left, a foot less right, and a foot less...
Everything.
Everything. You have about 2 more of those kind of slams before things will get uncomfortable, and 3 more before, well, things will become untenable.
Can we not try pulling the levers again to see if it stops?
Well, as time is of the
You
essence...
all on the other side hear a plasma pistol discharge into the door.
I'm going to lift my lever back up.
Fiaura, I sent you an email.
I replied on Discord to you.
Tommy, you gonna lift your half up, or?
So the left lever just went back up into its starting position.
The walls are still closing in on Hitomi on the inside. Door does nothing.
Alright, well, it's getting down there to the point where I'm gonna
Since
flip
Tom's not
over.
responding, so we'll go for it. We'll push the other lever up. So both levers are up again.
Does that do anything?
Nope. You guys all hear a grinding sound from the other side of the door.
I pull my lever back down again without the other one going down.
The grinding sound continues.
I lift it back up and then motion to Sybil to pull down the other lever.
What's going on the inside there, Hitomi?
Well, as I'm reloading and I'm seeing them still closing in, I'm gonna get desperate and flip the lever inside.
The walls stop. The grinding noise comes to a halt after, you know, what seems like a little bit. But nothing else happens. By the way, Hitomi, all that happened was the wall stopped. They didn't actually move back outward.
Tom, do you want to lift yours back down again? Pull yours back down again?
Is yours down?
No.
I'll let you and Sybil. I'm going to start applying force to the door and see if something will give. Me or it.
Okay, Sybil, do you want to drop your lever?
Sybil doesn't trust this thing. Sybil doesn't think we should be in here anyway. It's like, let's get out of here.
In that case, I'm going to step past the captain and pull the lever down myself.
Okay.
So I just pulled the right-hand lever down.
Nothing happens.
Yeah, whoever designed this ancient trash compactor probably should have, you know, put a instruction manual near it.
Welcome to the Army of Fiaura, Chris Blakesley. Chris Blakesley.
Okay, in that case, I'm going to go back to the left lever and pull that one down and see what that does.
Tell me, the walls start grinding slowly towards you again. You hear a grinding noise, Hetty, of stone on stone.
As it's not the door opening, I lift the lever back up again.
Damn, we're gonna kill him.
There's still a grinding noise!
Oh.
I'm gonna step up to the door and shout through it as loudly as I can. Whatever you did last time, do it again.
He told me to step away, but given that he noticed that being the safety lever, I imagine he's gonna pull it again.
So tell me, what are you doing?
Yeah, walls start grinding in again. I'm gonna try flipping the safety lever again.
The walls stop.
Well, at the very least, I should be pissing off the locals. I'm sure they'll send a maintenance man down to poke whatever's screwing up here.
You are now down to an uncomfortable 4.5 feet of room. In a cube.
So yeah, not pressing that lever again.
Which is 6 feet tall, 1.5 feet wide, and maybe 2 feet across. It's rather uncomfortable.
Fiaura, what about all the gore and such that was in there?
It is literally smashed into the bottom.
Oh,
And it's uncomfortably now, and it is
Well, so
uncomfortably now.
if a power
chest
sword,
height.
could we just cut?
Can I finish? The parts that have not leaked out into various cracks is about chest height on Hitomi.
Okay.
Sybil's gonna offer to the captain. You have a power set. You cut a hole through the door.
I have a power sword, not a power fist.
You could still cut a hole through
I was going to be asking that question. Will it damage the sword, though?
You don't know. You haven't tried yet.
Take warded by some manner of magics, which in our current situation it would be rather impossible for me to tell given the excess amount of psychic energy flowing everywhere. I cannot say.
I will turn my sword on and hit the door.
When you say hit the door, do you mean swing the sword at the door or press the sword into the door gently? Like, what exactly are you doing?
I'm going to press initially the sword blade against the door and see what happens.
The stone starts to melt. Hitomi, roll me D100. You need less than 28% to get lucky.
Nope, I'm average.
Your head starts getting really warm against the heat, against the stone as a hot spot appears.
Well, crap. I'm going to try to, like, duck down and twist away to my left to get away from it.
Make a dodge check. Tom, the sword continues to plow through the stone with relative ease.
I'm going to wait till I feel no resistance and then start to make a hole.
Question. So is this door in the wall or is it in the floor?
Tom?
Yes?
Make a damage roll unmodified by strength.
Out of character, dibs on his stuff.
Close, damn it.
Out of character. Fuck you, Chaco.
But you're going to kill him anyways.
Well, but you also don't serve any little bit of the loot because you're a filthy psyker.
There's my damage for the power sword.
Hitomi, take 9 points of damage, pen 6.
Alright.
Sorry about that.
To the head.
Okay, kids, can we say concussion?
Well, no, Hitomi
no.
rolled 50, which when you reverse it is aught 5. Damage to the head.
And also, this isn't concussion. This is burning hot sword.
There's a burning hot sword poking through the door into your face.
You know all that splooge that was all over the place? You should have been throwing that on the wall.
Well, that puts me down at 1 wound.
Do we hear a scream of agony?
I hope so. Would tell us we're through.
Oh no, he might.
And Hitomi, that was a low roll.
Oh, I know.
Oh yeah, if you're only high, you would have killed him.
15! Oops.
Well, he's dead.
How are you doing, Hitomi?
Well, it's not as bad as that time that cultist nearly cut my head off with a rusty knife, but it's definitely in the top 5 worst experiences of my life.
What's your... how many wounds do you currently have?
I have 1.
Are you taking any actions?
Well, I don't really have the room to get away from what's going on, so...
Yes, you can. It was 6x6. You can shove your body to the other end.
No, like 6x2x2.
Is it 6 feet long or 6 feet wide? Either way, you can get away from that.
I mean, you could kind of like spider crawl up onto the like top corner if you can, and I mean, it's going down. It's not going to be heading towards you.
By the way, Fiaura, how does all 4 walls close when, within seconds, they'd be jamming each other?
That is an incredibly good question that I do not have an answer for you because you can't see the mechanism.
Chaos.
Space magic.
Yeah, so...
Universal code that powers 40k.
It says so in the script.
Yeah.
Yeah. So say, you're not even screaming out in agony or anything?
Oh, I'm sure I screamed out in pain because I got hit pretty good there, and...
You didn't declare you were doing that! As far as everyone knew, you were biting your lip and moaning in agony and, you know, just not letting everyone know it was happening.
Yeah, I'm screaming, and as soon as that sword gets pulled back, I'm going to shout at the hole.
You hear a very loud, upset scream, Tom. It is incoherent between the hum of your power sword and... Your power sword is distinctly now cutting into something that is less resistant than stone.
I pulled the sword out.
There's burned blood on the end.
Uh-oh.
From the love of the Emperor, crushing me in a trap is something that comes with the risks of archaeology, but stabbing me while I'm being crushed, no, that's just a low blow.
That is a familiar voice, but through the stone you can't quite make out who it is.
Back away from the door.
The cat girl is gonna say, I'd say continue stabbing it. I think it's a demon.
Hello, is somebody in there?
Yeah,
It could always be. It could always be orcs.
I think it's Jehovah's Witnesses.
I try to push myself as far back as I can and say, yes, a demon called out for the love of the Emperor.
As far back as you can is literally a half an inch.
So I have, like, how much space? Maybe, like, 3 or 4 inches between door and me?
No, you have a half an inch. If they had turned on that stupid switch for another goddamn round, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
We'd be getting more...
Eddie.
We'd have more goo in there.
Silver will kind of go up to the hole and it's like, I'm not exactly a master of these things, but have you tried dropping the cup? I mean, it brought you there. What's to say it won't take you out?
Bertram will look at you and go, do you understand the concept of a trap?
The cat girl is gonna slap the back of the psycho.
Do you
again.
understand the concept of the warp? Or magic?
People, can I make a suggestion? Hitomi, tell him, or Amir, tell me when you see the sword tip getting close. And leaving it off, I move the sword forward.
You don't penetrate the door unless you're trying to go back through the hole.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. So I can know how far
the sword doesn't go through the door, as the molten rock is solidified in a way once you pulled the sword out that blocks its opening partially.
There's a hole there, though.
Fiaura,
Yes.
I'm going to go... How high up on the door was the hole I made that hit him?
Well, for you, it's like chest level. For him, it's like probably eye level.
I'm going to cut along one side then of the door right at the door jam.
Who told me? Make a dodge roll. Add 20.
Excuse me, I'm doing it at the very side. It's like...
They told me. You're doing it at the very side? Cool.
Yeah.
You keep pushing forward and find you have
Yeah, like
resistance
that.
all the way through.
I got solid rock all the way.
To the hilt of the sword.
I will then slowly work the blade down. And we
Awesome.
should have bubbling metal. Or bubbling molten rock coming out.
Just rock. You have the same level of resistance all the way to the base of the door.
Yep, but it will have a small patch where hopefully I can get a little bit of grip and pull it out. Even with the reconstituting of the stone, because it will be weaker right now.
You're going to try to pull the door out?
If I can.
This is a very important question. Which side of the door did you cut?
So you cut all around.
Left or right?
I would like to say most doors are the left side. Screw it.
You cut the left side. Okay.
So I either... God damn it, Nat.
When pulling on it, it does not move.
Which means I cut the wrong side.
You cut the side where the door ended, not the side where it started.
Take 2. Then I'll move to the other side and see what happens.
Okay? The door wiggles a little, but is definitely attached at the top.
That actually makes sense, given that all our other doors have been like that.
No, this one goes straight down. All the others would go left or right.
Oh, I thought the last ones in the big, whatchamacallit chamber with the machines were like that.
I'm gonna pipe up and suggest that 2 of us support the door as you're cutting across, so that it doesn't just immediately fall on top of you.
That's intelligent. Let's not do it. Yes, please.
Okay. So you
Very
cut across the
slow
top.
labors. Yep.
The door falls on top of Hetty.
No, we're supposed to be supporting the... We're
I
supporting
know.
the
Make a strength check at -30.
Marcy, you may need to get your medical equipment out. We may have broken bones.
No, if they get broken bones, they deserve it.
Can I take the hit for Hetty? Since Ogrins are known for that.
Are you going to let go of your sword?
Can he just put his shoulder up? Like,
Yeah,
you know what?
Could.
I'll put my shoulder into the door, yeah.
All right.
Because
Make
I'm
an
trying to...
agility check, and since Hetty failed by 64, you're at -64 to get in front of the door before it falls on him.
I'm trying, Hetty. Let's see. Roll for a crit. And the
Nope.
survey says...
No.
Failure.
Hetty, I'm gonna let you roll this. Roll 3d10. Drop the lowest.
Please roll all ones. God damn it.
So I take 16. Take it 16. No armor resistance.
Yes. Oh no, your armor is your armor metal or flak? This is important.
It's Xenoweave, if I remember right.
Yep, no armor resistance. It's not padded.
Toughness.
Toughness applies.
So 16 minus 2 is 14.
That's a toughness? Oh wait, he's only human.
Wait, you only have 2 toughness?
I have 6 total wounds.
The ogre needs to drink more milk to increase his toughness.
Wait.
I'm at negative 10 on crushing damage.
Do you have a fate point?
Did he just turn into strawberry jam?
Do you have a fate point?
Hetty got popped like a zit.
I don't think he's laughing too much. Burn the fate point, you motherfucker.
He has 3 fate points.
Well, now he has 2.
Burn a fate point or die.
I think he did. He said,
the door falls on you. Your life flashes before your eyes. And then it tips over like a seesaw and rolls across, slamming down harmlessly behind you.
I was thinking the displaced air blows them out of the way.
Hitomi, your character, then falls on top of Hetty, who's on the ground screaming like a little girl.
Hector is gonna walk towards Hetty and kick his head. Way to show off.
Are you really kicking him in the head?
Yeah, just a light kick, not really something to hurt.
like the tap with your foot kind of kick.
Yeah.
The door is heavy enough that when it falls over like that, it cracks the floor.
That's a heavy door.
It's also a 1.5 feet thick.
The capital points at the door. This is what your stupidity almost cost us. You could have been crushed.
Everyone who isn't on the ground, that would be everyone but Hitomi and Hetty, may make a perception check.
Does awareness get any bonuses, or do we have the trait?
Perception.
Yeah, you can make an awareness check instead.
Well, 20 says.
Wait, so it's awareness or perception?
Ooh, civil seas.
The door is lined with gold.
Is gold of any value to this time at this century?
Yes.
I hear in this time the Emperor paints everything in glorious gold.
Aren't thrones gold?
Yes, throne gilt is solid gold. Well, some worlds it's different, some just make it out of wood, but it really depends on the wood. But the common standard use is
here
gold.
have any experience in metallurgy, geology,
Metallurgy?
or anything that would apply to identification of stone?
Someone bite it.
Does anyone have any idea about the ability known as appraise?
I don't have that ability.
I have evaluate.
I've got commerce, if that helps working out the value of it.
Hey, you can make a commerce check at -20 and evaluate check at -10.
I'm gonna do evaluate check.
Wait, it evaluates at -10? Might as well try.
Not happening. Oh,
Tom, do you
Yes.
recognize the door is worth the equivalent of about 4 profit factor? And also that the walls are lined with it as well. You have no idea where it ends or where it begins.
Oh,
I feel sorry for the voidsman we're sending in there to scrape that off.
is this gold-laced rock or is it gold-plated rock?
It is solid chunks of gold plated in rock. That's an appropriate response to what your mind should be triggering right now.
Huh.
First, we have to find a way out of here. No, first we have to get him feeling a little better, and then we need to start wandering around until we find the frickin' door to get out of here.
But Tim did say that the door should be along the main road, so I guess since we found our lost friend, I think as long as we avoid the doors that clearly look like doors, we probably should find our way out.
But what were you doing in a trash compactor?
Oh, by the way, when Amir falls out, there's literally a tidal wave of what would equate to pink splooge of human remains.
Well, we think it's human.
No, no, that is definitely dead body.
Alexander would turn back and go,
The captor can smell the blood.
why were you in a Pain Boy's happy room?
Well, he gets off and he kind of like just flicks his arms and legs trying to get most of the goo off of him and says, well, these things just kind of happen when you're exploring ancient ruins. They always have such odd little traps in them. And he goes to reload his plasma pistol so it's ready for next time, and otherwise seems relatively unperturbed now that he's out of there.
Marcy, please treat his head wound. Do what you can.
Perhaps it would be best if we stopped touching the weakly warp-touched relics in here. I mean, nothing survives this long with exposure to the warp without unique qualities.
And that's how you end with a failing dynasty.
Once we're done with that, Fiaura, we will walk up the hallway, do the 135-degree turn to the left, and we'll see a door there. We'll deal with that once they're done.
When Emma returns to the ship, he's going to spend some time in the brig to think about his mistake.
Do you have the authority to shove people in the brig?
No, but I have a cleaner.
Then you have the captain to do that.
Yeah, and Lord Alexander is the one who monitors the brig.
Also, weren't you supposed to be trying to look at that head wound cat girl? As that was your instruction from your captain.
Well, you guys come up to the next door.
By the way, Fiaura, I'd have loved to have puzzled out your trap, but I brute forced it.
Oh, it was quite simple. You just had to pull the 3 switches in an order that made sense, and Hitomi had to attempt to communicate with you from the other side of the door that she was actually there. But Hitomi made no effort, so therefore you guys just went nuts.
I brute forced it and won. Of course, Hetty almost lost. and we would have had two tidal waves of pink goo. One as Hetty is crushed and expels all of her his bodily contents down up against the wall, and then the follow-up.
Fair enough.
That would have been great artwork, though.
So, random door. Standard door, stone door.
Stone door.
Yes.
No apparent way to open it.
Do we really wish to open another door? Our luck has not exactly been with us, and most of us are not in that great of conditions.
Speak for yourself.
Last stone door
It
revealed a huge chunk of gold, so...
I say we've
But-
had quite good luck. We've gotten quite a bit of valuable relics.
Yeah, though it's not like this place would disappear. We can mark it on the map once we escape, and then
Did you
just
get the message?
When he says this place won't disappear,
we can just,
Go on.
sorry.
Chaco. Go on.
I was gonna say when Alexander says this place might not disappear if Civil laughs, like, oh yeah, it might.
I don't exactly know how to answer your question.
Okay, so... Are we trying the power sword trick again?
No. What does the door look like? Just a door?
Stone door.
The same door you just dealt with. Hey, Tommy, did you leave the cup in the other room?
No, it'd been stowed in
We
my
couldn't
pack.
drag it with us. We can't. We can't move it.
Oh, and I'm still carrying the chest, so you might want to delete that out of the room.
Okay. It's the same type of door you just dealt with.
Well, there's only... Let's try 1-2, then 2-1. That's the most we can do.
There's no levers this time.
There's no levers. It's just a incision in the wall that is clearly where a door belongs, and there's no discernible way to open it.
Can I perceive and...
You may make an awareness check, yes.
Awareness. Cool. So I still have that check. I have that check, so it's just the same as perception.
Symbol sees.
You are aware there's a door in front of you, Hetty.
Hetty, you are aware that is definitely a door.
What does Sybil see?
Sybil moves his hand along the side of the wall and finds that there is a gap between two stones that should not be there. When you press said gap, the door opens.
Very good, Sybil.
He bows his head. I aim to please.
Everyone, make a toughness test.
Wait, say that again. You kind of cut out for me a second.
Everyone, make a toughness check.
Is it an explosion? Does flag vest count for something?
It is not an explosion.
It's probably like, oh god, something smells terrible. We're gonna all vomit.
dear God, why does it smell like an oak's ass crack?
I did not make a toughness test.
Wow, Sybil!
If you failed the test by less than 1 degree, you were sickened, but able to act normally. If you fail the test by more than a degree, you puke. If you fail the test by more than 3 degrees, you continue puking until the entire contents of your stomach have been voided.
Sybil has the dryness.
Well, I mean,
am
he's gonna have
sickened?
plenty of room.
You need
He's
a
gonna have plenty of room for the food on his date.
So, am I sickened or perfume?
You're failed by 1, so I presume
You're puke. You throw up.
Alexander will kind of go behind and kind of pat her back to attempt to help.
Yeah, she lets out a furball.
Inside is what is described as a skullatorium. A room in which human skulls are preened of all of their basic meat and turned into
ornaments.
Skulls.
Are we talking polished skulls or just rustic bone?
What took the meat off the skulls?
You see implements that are made for hand preening.
Okay, I was wondering if there were like, there's the flesh-eating bugs they use too, that you had to be careful around.
Should I begin filling out the sheet?
So,
Well, Sybil's definitely gonna look in there and is like, I'm not going in there, it's... I tasted my lunch. I tasted
You're
my lunch
still dry.
3 days ago.
Your stomach thinks you still have something in it.
So, are the skulls sort of neatly positioned, or are they scattered all over the floor, or...?
After I gather, I swallow a couple of times, Fiaura, and not throw up. I'm going to walk into the room, looking at all the different skulls, and then finally notice the other door.
make a perception test.
With fail 20 and me?
Yep.
I haven't made a roll today.
I don't think I have either.
Survey says.
You don't notice a door, you notice piles of skulls.
Can I look around, see if I perceive anything unusual, such as a door or other items that might be of interest to us?
You can. If you failed the toughness test by more than 9, you're still outside. Congratulations, Hetty. Not only do you not notice the door, you trip over a skull.
Yay! I land face first.
So, Amber's
You
gonna head
chip one
in.
of your teeth.
Woo!
So Amber's gonna head in, and he's gonna be looking around, seeing if there's anything that looks like it might be worth grabbing, and kind of appraising the room.
Make a
and,
perception test.
Amir, you were in Calcutta for a few years, weren't you?
I don't remember that planet's name.
It's a city on old Earth. Ding.
Oh, I was never lucky enough to go to Holy Terra.
You notice skulls and skulls and a door and skulls and skulls and skulls.
What about the tools? Does he notice anything about tools? Are they particularly valuable or just rustic tools?
Rusted,
nothing.
useless tools. Artifacts at best, but artifacts for a museum, not for actual use or value.
I look around, I'm kind of disappointed. I notice the door and I go, "Oh, Captain, we've got another door in here. Might be a more valuable chamber, perhaps with some trophy displays."
Huh?
Emma, you just got out of a fucking meat grinder and you want to go into another one? Fine by me.
Fear's not,
Very
my
well
faith is
said.
strong.
Sybil, very well said. I assume that's in between heaves.
Yes. It is one of the Litania Majora.
Civil, make another toughness test. Please pass.
Oh, God. I think I know what it's going to be otherwise.
Any bonuses?
Nope.
Yes.
Good.
Yep.
You stopped dry heaving just before the point where you would actually rupture something and start coughing up blood.
Okay.
Well, he could just tear his esophagus, which is worse. There ain't much you can do about that.
It was the prayers that protect him. That's what he believes.
Well, once I go back in and see the doorway, being that I'm the only one I'm pretty sure hasn't been hurt, I'll check the door, see if there's a way to open it.
Well, I haven't. By the mercy of the Emperor, I've not actually been hurt yet.
That's because all last game you were kept putting corks in Yin Yang Lord because he was leaking. I'm sorry, Alexander.
Well, is anyone going to bother clearing the massive mound of skulls out from in front of the door?
Toss.
Yeah,
toss.
I'll get in there and help.
Sybil gonna stay outside. Sybil doesn't want to start vomiting again.
If it makes you feel better, Sybil or Chaco, I have smelled stuff that made me almost do that.
Oh, I've done the same thing. I've smelled horrible things, but that's why Sybil's not going back in there.
Swamp gas is wonderful, isn't it?
So,
oh yes.
After 25 minutes of clearing skulls, if you guys are not like smashing them or anything,
nope, just tossing them over the shoulder.
You get the door clear. The door has a giant set of text written on it. Does anybody here speak Eldar?
Nope.
Nope.
Anybody read this?
Does
this
anybody have the linguistics skill?
Not linguistics, no. I've got a few rounds of speak language, but not linguistics.
Speak language is for a specific language.
Yeah, no.
Liturgical, no.
Strike 2. You want me to try and open it, or should we leave it alone?
Hang on a second. I just need to double check a note I've made on the character sheet here.
God damn it, we could use Ivan.
I didn't think he could actually speak Eldar or read Eldar.
The sword could.
Remember,
Seneschal may
the sword
spend
found
a
Ivan.
fate point to automatically succeed any Cypher's lore or logic test. That doesn't apply here, does it?
No, that would be just using a fate point, right?
Yeah, but I'd still have to roll. I'd still basically have to roll the test, which means I'd need skill in the first place. As I read that anyway.
The closest thing I have is lore occult. I mean, if it was just normal, weird, hobbity-gook, he probably could have read it, but no.
Well, Amaral offers professional opinion to the captain. Says, well, if you can cut this door free, it seems to be some sort of, I'd guess, Xenos design or lost language. Either way, some rich noble collector is going to pay well for it.
Should we really be cutting open more doors in a place painting a great evil?
Can I just ask, is this a stone door, wooden door, metal door?
Out of character is probably Wraithbone.
It's a stone door, written in gold text, of a language none of you speak, nor can none of you manage to decipher.
And are there any levers or switches nearby?
No.
Can I run a perception to see if I can see any such device that's hidden?
You can.
Perception or awareness?
Perception.
Any modifiers?
Nope.
Oh, for crying out loud, roll 20!
It's a door! Definitely a door. Definitely a language you can't speak. Definitely a door.
I give the door a shove.
The door shoves back.
Oh god, it's sentient.
Can we tell if it's a Xenos language or a lost language?
Definitely not human.
I'm just going to shout at the door, open up, you Xenos bastards.
It shouts back in an indiscernible language.
Wait, what?
You heard me!
Sybil, this one's for you. The door's talking back at us.
Some sort of corrupt machine spirit. Oh, this became even more
Sybil will poke his head around the door. He's like, Mr. Door, could you please open for my idiot? Thank you. And then slowly goes back to where he was resting from heaving his guts out.
Sipping water.
Look off and read what the door and read what the door is to remind myself what it would do. What did you just do again?
He went over to the other door, politely, hello, Mr. Door, will you please open for my idiots? Thank you.
The door's response is again in a foreign language that none of you understand. It's definitely alien and pissed off.
Does Sybil get any kind of psychic sense from it?
I'm gonna throw the psychic energy. That's like saying, like, ooh, is this water in this pool wet?
Jump into the pool. Nope, it's acid.
Are you wait? You're asking again? Are you throwing psychic wuju at the door?
No, Sybil knows better.
No, I was just asking if you got a psychic sense from the door rather than actively probing at it.
Unless it's like somehow a lot brighter in the warp than everything else, then he's keeping himself closed off.
Real quick, people. My girlfriend gets off of work in 9 minutes. I'll let you guys puzzle the door. I'm willing to play door knocker for the next door. I'm going to leave this thing alone to you guys.
The door shouts back even angrier.
So we'll go to the door. I apologize, but do you speak High Gothic? Or Low Gothic? Whichever one I can speak both.
Kind!
At least it's not a Gretchen. That doesn't sound like Gretchen fucking with us, so...
At this point, Marcy's just gonna groan and walk away saying that this is useless and we're just losing our time?
Alexander will join Marcy on that.
Amber's gonna pull out his sword and he's gonna use the pommel of it, just kind of like tapping along the door frame, seeing if there's like any place that
make a dodge
sounds
check.
hollow.
You don't fuck with the psychic door. What the fuck? It's
Nope.
oh, Mir's dead.
We'll see.
Take 14, armor applies.
If you get killed by a door, that's gonna be hilarious.
The door literally has a moment where a chunk of fire appears in front of it and hurls it in a mirror, slamming into Amir's chest plate.
Well, that puts me at -4.
Wait, did the
We've got another one down.
Did the door say 9, like German?
Kine.
Kine.
Like cow.
So the door just...
The door just hit you with a fireball. It inflicts 2 levels of fatigue from the critical, as it knocks the wind out of you completely and puts you firmly on your ass.
How many of Xeno's bastard doors submit to the Emperor like you're supposed to? Amber grumbles as he starts to get back up.
The door.
Amir, I would stop messing with the Xenos door. It is bigger and stronger than you.
I'm gonna help Amir out of the room.
I am going to say my benedictions to the Emperor, you know, and spend a fate point to recover wounds. Might do this twice if I need to.
Don't we have a cat girl who can help you with that?
Yeah, but she doesn't want to heal me, so... Do it again. I'm back up at 0.
I say we leave the door alone. It obviously does not want to open, and I would rather not have some sort of weird duel with a possibly war.
Can I use my Archeotech to see if I'm aware of anything like this happening in sort of human dealings with technology in the past?
Nope! You have no clue of this ever happening before.
Yeah.
Well,
I say we best move on. Gain from a door won't open.
the fact that we took damage from a door, I think, is enough for us to say, yeah, we'll leave this one for now.
I look at the doors, I'm knocking on. I said, I'll be back for you, and you're going to be hanging in some nobleman's parlor as a trinket.
We will win, door. Mark my words, we will win. I say the stomp off.
See, am I the only one imagining like this is some really this door's fucked up Eldar reality show? Like, let's watch the stupid open a door.
Let's watch the stupid hellish monkeys.
So, what do you guys just left?
Here we have the Monkai, not native to this planet, interacting with a door, a new change to their environment. It is one is bashing his face against it repeatedly. The door will now take exception to that.
I guess we'll go down. Well, if Alexander and Marcy have already gone down the hall, but the only path left open to us.
Oh, did that. We literally had an argument with the door, and the door won.
Well, I mean, we had an argument with the door
that
before,
did just
but
happen.
Well, we had an argument with the door last time, and it was racist. But I mean, he got shot in the face. But
Hey, we won that one. That door died.
yeah, because I don't think just shooting this door would be that easy.
I must admit, I was tempted to fire off a few bolter rounds at it. But then I figured, no, that fire blast has probably got a fair old range. Like, not doing me any good.
Okay, well, you guys just left the door. That's fine. You have a fork before you. To the left, you can see the pedestal that Amir disappeared from, and to the right, you see a set of stairs leading up.
Which apparently a third of the party fencing up and down.
The cat girl is already going up the stairs.
Alexander will keep his sword out and more or less try to keep close to the wall. Not pressing himself against it, but you know, if say someone comes around the corner, he can quickly slash at them in one motion.
Quick perceive for any kind of trappings down these stairs. Fee?
Nothing.
Well, given that two people pretty much have already run up the stairs, it's a little late for that.
Yeah, true.
You guys can roll perception.
I'm gonna roll perception to see what's in this alcove.
I'm gonna roll awareness. Any bonuses?
God damn it, roll 20. We're low, we're below the target number, not above it.
You don't see anything suspicious. Nothing suspicious at all.
She's gonna move along really quickly.
Sybil is gonna continue using stick as 10-foot pole.
Alexander will look inside the little conclave hole thing.
There's a chair.
Nope, 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 nope.
Is the chair what is
I think he doesn't like the chair.
what is the chair made of?
Finish describing the chair. What the?
I've read enough of the SCP wiki.
You got hit by the chair or something? Did the chair attack you?
Stop laughing. What is the chair made of?
Party paranoid.
This is ridiculous. Okay, come on.
It's just a 40K-esque folding chair. Oh my god.
Okay, Mark's is gonna set fire to the chair.
Well, don't set fire to it yet, but I mean, as far as we know, it's like a folding chair of Squishy butt rape. Oh god, we're doing our own saying.
Is Alexander saying her not to put fire to the chair?
No, Alexander just knows. Do not trust things.
Shut the fuck up. Let me try to speak to you. Thank you.
Oh my god, hurts.
Is Alexander in character trying to stop Marcy from burning the chair?
Not at all.
Good, because she was gonna hit him with the back end of the flamer if he did that.
Sybil will kind of call out, would you want to that is somehow warp touched, which would probably release a very large amount of, well, arcane energies at the very least.
She puts more fire to the chair to make her point.
We found the door, and the door won.
Okay, so apparently we have burned a folding chair.
As far as I'm concerned, that folding chair could be a demon in hiding.
It could also eat you when you sit in it, or attempt to make deals with you.
Or like
I want you to understand that a standard template metal folding chair has just been melted into a pool of metal slack.
No, it's being evaporated because I'm still putting fire on it.
I know you probably shouldn't reveal things to like this, but can you at least tell us if that was just a normal chair or not, and we just killed a chair for no reason? Please tell us we're not that literally killed a chair for no reason.
Let me get this straight. After revealing to you that there be gold in them walls, you fought the door and the door won, and now you just incinerated a normal fucking chair into a slowly evaporating pool of metal slag.
Yeah. Why was the chair there? Like, it's an odd place for a fucking chair.
It's somebody's home,
Fiaura?
you idiot!
Fiaura, you haven't got Fiaura,
See
you
if I
have
can.
permission every time we do a random perception check to put an ordinary object in our vision just to watch how we react to it.
And as always, I'm gonna burn the object even if said object is completely harmless. I don't take chances.
Alexander will say, Marcy, wait. Roll a boat shell. Please continue.
I just had to pop in to say one thing.
Oh god, you just burned him the
Before you
enchanted.
say anything, Tim appears in the other alcove, walks over and goes, "Man, my thinking chair! What the fuck?"
I told
And
you!
then walks down the hallway, ranting about how bad unwelcome house guests have burned his fucking thinking chair down.
She puts more fire into the chair to make her point even clearer.
So, yes.
We apologize, Tim. We'll bring you another chair.
She's gonna look Team
Let
Daddy
me
in the eye and
let me
say,
finish this. Let me finish this and I'll leave.
go ahead.
Paranoia, deep destroyer.
Lintavi,
Apparently.
go in your corner and shut up. You ruined
My work
it.
is
You
done.
just ruined it.
So now we have to buy a wizard another chair.
No, we don't.
We are his house guests. It is the least we could do.
Yeah,
In fact, it's
doesn't
the
mean you have
least
to be
you
good.
could do.
Well, doesn't mean you have to be good house guests.
Hold
I mean,
on.
given the
Hold on.
What did I just miss?
we found a chair.
Burning of the chair!
We found a chair, and apparently, Kiramachi's so paranoid she instantly destroyed it.
Alexander helped me
the
apply a boat
enchantress
shell.
thinking chair. So we both shelled and melted a chair down to the point it evaporated.
Question is, he maybe just misplaced the chair. Obviously, there was never a chair there, and there's nothing there now.
It was a normal, standard template folding chair. Ripped folding chair, 2017. The last victim.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm waiting for the text that she's coming out.
multiple metal. That's adorable.
Thank you, Holmes. Thank you so much for the
Wow.
image. That's appropriate.
If anyone's gonna contest or complain, I like that image. Anyway, if
We will
anyone
promise to give him one of our ship's chairs.
No, don't. He's a hermit in the depths of a cave, of a death trap cave, a death. He doesn't deserve our kindness.
Alexander mentioned, we've already found relics of the Emperor. Perhaps he was possibly even sent by the Emperor himself or some other higher power of the Imperium. Well, not higher power than the Emperor, of course. Some lower power of the Imperium to guard the place.
Or perhaps he's just a man who lives here, and we just burned to death his chair.
Yeah, but we found a
It was
demon book.
Charity von Holtz. Go to your room.
Mars is gonna turn to everyone and it's gonna start counting the amount of heretical artifacts we just found in here. Let's
This could have.
a demon book, a sacrificial knife, and a goblet that makes you go through a death trap.
Perhaps he was here to protect those items from getting into the hands of other people, but then again, I do not know. Well,
She's gonna grab Alexander by the scruff of the...
Chairs for the chair throne.
You could say that you all committed cherisy!
Yes.
Okay,
Wow.
Cherisy or chericide?
Every object I describe is subject to rampant, massive overreaction.
I still though agree with Tom. We need to get the guy a new chair.
Marcy's gonna walk up to Alexander. She's gonna hold him by the neck and say that again. I dare you.
Okay, so you walk up. Do you guys walk up the next set of stairs?
There's another set of stairs?
Yeah, there's another set of stairs.
Just to make sure there's absolutely nothing in the alcove on the left, right?
Nothing. That's where Tim appeared, walked over, complained about you destroying his chair, and then walked down the stairs and disappeared again.
Yeah.
Sybil goes over to the chair and like...
Okay, at the top of the stairs, on the wall, pointing at the door with a giant yellow arrow in big, bold text, it reads, "Lever to open door out."
The cat girl is gonna put fire to the sign.
Stop burning things!
Are you going to apply fire to the gold letters on the wall until they melt?
And then I'm gonna scoot. And then I'm gonna scoot up and use it and sell it for monies.
It's molten gold! What do you have that can contain molten gold?
Alexander was saying, if I get a cut, and he takes off his carapace helmet.
It melts the helmet!
Captain,
I have a over shell.
I just
committed to
don't
the
get it.
infirmary for insanity.
This is just crazy. So paranoid.
So paranoid.
Just anything. Just a mouse could pop out of nowhere, and then all of a sudden, exterminados!
Well, who's going to pull open the door?
Is the lever burnt or melted?
No.
It's a standard wooden castle door with a regular old-fashioned ring-style pull handle on it.
Perhaps Miss Marcy should open it, given...
I'm gonna point the flamer at it, but I'm not gonna put fire to it. Sybil, go do it.
I'm injured, darling. I shouldn't be the one opening
Shut
anything.
the fuck up and open the door, or you're gonna get fire on you.
I gip slap the cat girl.
The cat girl falls on the ground unconscious.
Thank you.
Alexander would pick up the cat girl, more or less, kind of looping one of his arms under her knees and the other one around her shoulders, and then we'll hoist her over his shoulder so he can still use his sword.
Okay, the door next to me, anything noticeable about it? Into the room you've marked off as red.
Do you open the door?
If there's anything about the door first.
Nope. You can make a perception check.
Might as well. It's not like I haven't failed every roll tonight so far. Oh look! It's a perfectly safe door. I open it.
Bones has the perfect line. Commander Marcy, we found an IKEA store. What are your orders? Exterminatus!
I'm gonna roll some tests to see if I wake up or not.
It's a regular wooden door.
So, yeah, I opened this regular wooden door.
Do you just pull on the handle?
Yep, just treat it like any
The handle is so badly
interior.
rusted it yanks off.
I look at it. Look at the door. Look at the handle. And go, and throw the handle into the puddle of molten gold.
It melts into the puddle of molten gold and spreads its rust.
Can I just say, gold's melting point is ridiculously low.
Yes.
So it's yeah.
V, can I roll a toughness test to see if I can wake up?
You're the one who declared you went unconscious. You can wake up whenever you want.
Wait, I can do that?
Yeah.
As long as you're not unconscious due to fatigue, yes.
As long as you're not unconscious due to fatigue or damage, which since you didn't take any actual fatigue or damage.
Short version, I declared Gibbs slap. You declared I go unconscious. In that case, I apply Inferno Pistol to what's left of the lock and cut it out.
There's not a lock!
Well, how else do I open the door?
So just to be safe, is going to 10-foot pole the stick to the lever for the get out of here door. Just to be safe. Like,
So yeah,
like pull it down as best I can.
I used the Inferno Pistol to cut out a handhold in the door and wait for it to cool.
What happens when Sybil pulls down the exit lever with the 10-foot pole? Which he's gonna need to get a new staff because it's probably been through some shit. Fiaura,
Yes.
what happens when Sybil pulls down the lever with the 10-foot pole?
There's not a lever.
To the get out of here place? Yeah,
The wooden door.
Did you open the door yet?
I think we tried pushing the door.
exit door. The one with the gold, the exit door, not the melted
There's
handle.
not there is one door here. The other thing was a sign pointing at that door that is now melted.
Oh.
Okay, so I've cut a handhold into the door and let it cool, and I open the door.
You pull on the door, it doesn't move.
Have you tried pushing it?
I push the door.
It opens! Dear God!
Opening the door, 101.
Alexander will just put
I
his...
pull, the handle comes off. Okay, I cut a hole and pull harder. The door doesn't move. I
Alexander
push,
will just...
the door opens.
Alexander would just put his hand on his forehead and just say, "You know, it's standard for most all exit doors to be push, not pull."
No.
Can I say for something? The Emperor is face palming so hard right now. It just like the Astronomicon is just
Every
so.
house front and back door I know, you pull it into the building to open it.
Well, most protocol out of the United States is push due to when they are pull, you end up with issues such as when the fires in Las Vegas, where you have a huge crowd and a fire inside the building, and they're all pushing up against the door, yet it's pull. That's why all exit doors are almost always push.
And as much as I wanted to get to the end of this adventure today, we have literally run out of time. Because of the interview being moved 2 weeks back.
Are you going to post us a link to the podcast?
I am going to post you guys a link to where the podcast will take place. It is a Twitch link. It'll be taking place in exactly 2 hours. They're hosting me right now! That I didn't see that one coming.
Oh God, they are going to question the intelligence of your.
So how was your day, Fiaura?
So what?
Mine was great. We burned down a goddamn simple fucking chair.
Is it bad that I knew it was a fucking push door? Yeah, I didn't want to say anything due to in character. It would be wrong to make the captain look like an idiot, but it just reached a point in Alexander's head where
The
he's.
captain wasn't pushing the door.
And Discord in the lobby, you have your final chance to post additional questions. I have to answer all the questions asked, regardless of what you ask. In the meantime, I am taking Sophie to dinner. I would like to thank Mr. Bones for tips today. I would like to thank Bones and our anonymous person for being top tier patrons. Mr. Jaunty 1978, Assignment Spaghetti, Yin Lord 1, Michael Hollowell Bones, James Buckner, Rich Robowski, Song in the Void, Sadie on YouTube, Durgis, Miss Priss, Skullman was here, Heroin Bob, and Tom Curry for being sponsors. Here is the hat to Mr. Bones. I have to go if I'm going to make it in time due to rush hour traffic. I love all of you. I am sorry for rushing. I will make it up to you next week, because next week I have an entire another 6 adventure possibilities planned out, assuming you take any of the goddamn hooks, because I built 4 hooks and then you made me build an entire adventure from the scratch hand of my ass, because you wanted to go do something else that wasn't in the hooks.
Make sure all the doors open the right way.
How about just use your bloody mind?
Facepalming.
Alexander was the only one who mentioned maybe it's a push door.
I love all of you. Jen, I'm sorry we didn't get you in because you were literally behind that stupid door.
Yeah, I know.
Literally, I'm not even kidding. You're behind that door.
Yeah, it's just like, oh my gosh, I need to tell you, Captain, like, the Navigator, the Voidmaster's murdered, everyone's panicking and one. But no, they just...
P, look at the questions. I've just posted one for you.
I'm scared.
What did you do?
Everybody have a good night.
Good night, Fiaura.
I'll see you guys in 2
Good night.
hours.